Morning guys, welcome back. We're going to another horse show today. Shooting this in my car because I don't think I'm going to have time to do anything when I get to the yard. We're heading off a lot earlier today than we did for the last one. And so we just need to get on the road, so I don't want to worry about fucking around with cameras and stuff like that. But we're just literally going to be loading them up, getting in the car and leaving. But I just thought I'd give you guys some context of where we're going today. Because I did a really bad job on my last show video actually explaining to you guys what's going on. I don't know what happened with my brain. Like, I think because I've had so many issues with getting the videos, like not only getting them uploaded but also getting them edited, I don't know what's going on with my software. It's just not been complying. Like, part of me thought it was maybe the heat. I did notice that my laptop and my phone have been overheating quite badly in this weather, but I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, yes, I thought I would actually give you guys some context today. So we are taking Mr. Blueberry back to Offas Dyke. We're going to the Offas Dyke. It's a fun show again. It's over near Colford. It's always a really, really nice show. We've been there a couple of times now, and it's a really, really well run, friendly, organised show that actually, like, for a fun show, it actually attracts a lot of really good competitors. Like, there's always some really good quality horses there. And so we thought, yeah, what the hell, let's keep the ball rolling. Obviously we took him out a couple of weeks ago. Obviously that was a really good success. He really enjoyed himself. We thought, yeah, let's see what else is going on over the next couple of weeks. Found this one for today, so off we go again. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to have a chance to pick up the camera when I get to the stables, so I will probably catch up with you guys when we get to the showground. We're doing 2 classes again today. It's in hand again. I'm not entirely happy with our canter transitions still. We have been working on them, but on the right rein in particular, we're just really struggling to get a neat transition. And I'm like, do you know what? We're just not gonna do ribbon showing until we've got that nailed. Like, it sounds like such a basic thing. I mean, he can do the canter. Like, it's not like we're completely useless. It's just I'm not happy with it. He rushes into his canter transition. Everything gets a bit unbalanced, myself included. And so I just want to do a bit more work on that before we start playing with that. So we're doing 2 in-hand classes, and then we are doing we're also doing a walk trot dressage test this morning as well. So we're actually doing that first. I'm just hoping he doesn't get too sweaty and grubby before he does his showing. But I like to ride him before he does the in-hand showing anyway, to like let him loosen up and settle down a little bit. So yeah, that's hopefully what we're gonna have for the day. But yeah, I'll probably catch up with you guys when we get there.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Offas Dyke Summer Show of 2025. So just for some context, this video is kind of out of sequence. We went to this show several weeks ago. It was before the Frampton Family Riding Club show that I posted, the one at CCR Equestrian. This was before that. And this was kind of like way before he started to have like foot issues. Like, this was before his hooves exploded in that horrible heat wave we had. Just to give you some context here. So yeah, this was their summer show. We've been, like, for the last few years, we really like this show. It's always really friendly. We're really well organised. It's just a nice place to go, basically. And yeah, it wasn't a bad day. It wasn't the best day ever. But it wasn't the worst day ever. We've definitely had worse shows. So straight in with the dressage here. We actually only had about 20 minutes between unloading him and this here. So it was a tiny bit rushed. We were a little bit behind time-wise, but it wasn't too bad. As you can see, Blue wasn't quite sure about the dressage arena markers. Now, I'm sure he's seen these before. In fact, I'm sure he's done dressage at this venue before. Yeah, he did, because I remember when he did it before, it had been raining loads, and I think they put the dressage arena over where the traffic had been coming in and out, and he skidded on, like, one of the tyre marks that was in the field. So yeah, he would have definitely seen these before, but to be fair to him, he had pretty much, well, he had all of last year off, which means he hasn't been out to shows you know, very much at all. And he's only been to a few shows this year. We were only really just getting him back into the swing of things. So yeah, these dressage markers were absolutely terrifying. Clearly they were going to eat him. We worked with it. I would have liked to have spent more time doing some desensitization with him. I did have the plan of taking him back over after they'd finished the dressage and like doing some work with him, like some desensitizing work with those little barriers. And we just didn't have time in the end. It was such a busy day. We ended up doing 2 in-hand classes as well, and we ended up doing a championship class. He wasn't feeling too hot, bless him. I'll explain that a bit later on when we're having a look at his in-hand showing. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, we just didn't have time, but I think I need to, next time we take him out somewhere and they've got these markers, I need to do some work with him on that, because yeah, he was quite spooked by them. So we're doing an intro test. I'm going to be honest, I can't actually remember which one it is. It's really bad. So because this footage was from so long ago, like it was well over a month ago, it's not overly fresh in my head. That was an accidental stop there, by the way. He's kind of spooking at the barriers. But yeah, because it was like ages ago, it's a little bit fuzzy in my head. But yeah, it's one of the intro tests. It's one that we've not done before, which was nice. It was nice and basic, starting in with some nice big 20-meter circles. It had a serpentine in it. I think it was one of the newer intro tests. Maybe it was like intro C. I've not done it before. But I liked it. I like having kind of like different stuff to do in there, and I quite liked having the serpentine to do. That was something a bit different for him. But yeah, he was good in this. He was good. I felt he was really sluggish. Like, he looks good. And spoiler alert, because I can't actually find any footage of it to put in here. Spoiler alert, he did come first in the dressage. I personally feel that the judges were incredibly generous. Like, the comments on there and the scores we got, I felt were very, very generous. Because like I said, he looks okay, but he was just really like lacking in energy. Yeah, it was just, I think it was partly because he was a bit groggy feeling, and also partly because he kept kind of like spooking at those barriers, and so I couldn't really get him going how I wanted to. Like, it was almost like riding Woodster at this point, like trying to keep him going. It was like, come on, Blue, keep going, Blue, keep going, Blue. And we did have a couple of accidental downward transitions that were not part of the test. Again, I feel like the judges were very generous in that they didn't seem to overly penalise us for that. Now, in fairness, it is an intro test, and it is an intro test at a fun show. So you wouldn't expect the judges to be super critical, but I don't know, I felt like they were very, very kind to us. Very, very kind to us. Like, it is appreciated, but at the same time, I watched it back afterwards and I was like, damn, I would have marked me way lower for that. But yeah, he did pretty good in this. I thought he went nicely. I said the biggest issue for me was just kind of like the lack of energy. And I think because we lacked that little bit of energy and impulsion, like you can see here about halfway through the test, we just start to lose our collection a little bit. He's starting to get a bit unbalanced and a bit pokey-nosed. And he's not that usual, like, fabulous blueberry. You know, he's got so much exuberance. And when he's not feeling it, it really shows, because he just becomes quite, I don't know what the word is, like, plain looking, I guess. Yeah, see, that was an accidental stop there. We shouldn't have done that. We spooked to the barriers again. But yeah, like I said, he still looks phenomenal, and he took first place in it, so I guess I should probably stop whinging about it. I think the problem with me is that I am very like hypercritical of myself, and I really, really overanalyze everything. I'm always looking at things like, how can we do better? How can we improve on this? And whether or not we've got first place or 10th place, I would still have that same like hypercritical viewpoint on it. I would still have the same comments regardless of what his placing was. Because I overanalyze. It's kind of a curse, I think, a little bit. Like, it's a blessing and it's a curse. But yeah, the the fixations on the negative definitely get the better of me. Lou, did you see that? The cheeky little bugger. He stopped beautifully square, and then he did what Woodster always used to do, and he snuck that leg forward at the end, didn't he? Little bugger. Never mind, bless him. Good old stretch there to finish. Oh, bless him. He's super chill, isn't he? He is just, I feel like he's really settled into everything this year, and he is super chill. He's been no trouble at all for anything we've taken him to, which has been really, really nice. Like, really, really nice. So he's just going to have a little stretch there. And yeah, that was it for our dressage test. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was Intro C. If it's not, I'll double check and I'll write it up on the screen for you guys if it was a different one, but I'm pretty sure it was Intro C. And yeah, like I said, despite my hypercritical comments there, he did come away with first place. I'm not sure how many were in the class. There was a fair few. I think it was probably 9 or 10, something like that. So that was good. Yeah, it was a good start to the day. I was gobsmacked because Ian went over to get the rosettes, to get the score sheets and the rosettes and everything. Not that I was expecting a rosette, but you know what I mean. He went over to get the score sheets, and when he brought it back over and he showed me, I was like, oh wow, like I was genuinely gobsmacked. I didn't think we were going to get placed at all, let alone first. So yeah, he done good, bless him. You look at that handsome schnoz. He's a good looking boy, isn't he? Right, okay, jumping back to real-time chit-chat for the next bit, so I'm gonna shut up and I will start waffling at you guys again a bit later on when we've got the showing to discuss.
Well, put the cap back on so we can have a repeat on the
What, the new fashion statement?
Yeah,
There's a horse trailer there. What are you doing? I need to sit down. Come on, Babby.
turn slightly sideways. So that's there. Peaky Blinders. I think it would work.
God, no, it's not too bad.
No!
What's wrong with you two? My God!
That's what we're here for, dear. To encourage and
Mate, you're looking absolutely away with you beasties.
ah,
Am
dear.
I taking flicky flick or normal?
Yeah.
Can you bring that over as well in case? Because I'm used to having a longer stick. If he doesn't quite understand, we might have to
Well,
do a quick trade-off.
you do a bit of instruction en route.
Stuff launched in here everywhere.
I think we should take the hat with us.
I'm not wearing that hat. So I just stick the whole hairnet over my head. Just there you go. Smooth. Oh, I look like I'm working in a flipping bakery now, don't I?
I got a good hairnet if you just put your hair in a bun and it just goes round your bun.
Yeah. Trouble is, I've got so much hair that when I do a bun, it's like I've got a melon on the back of my head.
It's like that horse's tail.
Right.
No, it doesn't work.
Sorry, but that.
I am not wearing that hat.
No, it's not the hat. Hold
What?
this,
What?
because that is beginning to.
Irk you?
Yes, it's a tie. It should be up.
I like breathing. Now it's pressing on my windpipe.
No, it's
I
not.
feel like I'm back in
Look,
school.
if I can get my finger in there, that's not tight.
I tucked that in on purpose.
I know. You don't want the other one there. But at least now we can't see the button, which is the whole point of a tie. It covers the shirt button up.
That's fine. Just... Stay there. Which one's closer? That one up there.
But yeah, but out there that's be less traffic, won't it?
Yeah. Good point.
Okie dokie guys, we have finally made it to the in-hand showing section of the day after much bickering and drama over the horse box, over my tie and my hair, because yeah, I couldn't decide what the hell I was going to do with it. It was just, I got so sweaty doing the dressage and yeah, it was just a mess. Finally decided what I was doing with it. Me and Ian bickered lots. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was so funny. Oh, but yeah, we got there at last. I think Blue was probably thinking, oh, for goodness sake, woman, just get on with it. But yeah, anyway, we made it. So this is the first of the showing classes. Well, I think this was the first one we did. Again, I keep looking back through the footage and I'm like, I can't remember which bit goes where, because annoyingly, like when I upload videos off the GoPro, it gives them all file names, but they're all numbers, but then they don't always go on in the order that you recorded them when you put them on the computer. It is confusing. I can see why like professional movie creators have those little like snappy things with like the number of the clip on it, because I was looking at some of this and I was like, I don't know what order this goes in. So hopefully this is in chronological order and it actually makes sense. Now, after much head scratching and confusion, I have concluded that this was the cob class, the open cob class. So this was quite a small class, this one. I did question the one at the front there. Apparently it was a buckskin, because we were all looking at each other like, is that supposed to be in here? But yeah, apparently it was a buckskin. It was confusing lots of us. No, that's wrong. This is the coloured class. Oh, guys, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life right now. This is the coloured class, not the cob class. Did I put a wrong clip on the front end of this then? I may well have done. One sec. No. I checked my footage and this is in fact the same group of horses as was in the previous clip. Oh, this is so painful. This is why professional YouTubers get video editors to do this for them, isn't it? It's just, oh my goodness, it's painful. So yes, this is in fact the coloured in hand class, not the cob, because there are not all cobs in here. My goodness, Demi, you'd think you would realise that within 2 seconds of looking at the horses turned out, but never mind. Oh, guys, I'm a walking disaster. I really am. I've got a feeling this showing class was the second one we did as well. Like, I can't remember what order we did them in. There was only 2 of them as well, and I can't remember what order we did them in. Wow, so amazing. I mean, I could just do what everybody else does who posts videos and just make up a narrative and like just convince you guys that this was all like, just make up this amazing story and make out like this is what happened and this was this and just, you know, like tell porcupines everywhere. I can't do it. I don't have the capacity to weave a story like that, so you're getting the unfiltered truth. I'm as confused as you are right now. I haven't got a clue what's going on. But yes, anyway, this is the coloured class. In hand coloured, because there are not all cobs in this class. And as you can see, it's chucking it down with rain. It was absolutely piddling it down at this point. I can't remember how Blueberry did in this one. So for the 2 classes, I believe he came away with a 2nd in one of them and a 3rd in the other. So the other class he did was the in-hand cob, which is not this class. This class is the in-hand coloured. Yeah, he did. Again, he did really nicely. Like, he's looking really good there. Like, he's really carrying himself nice. The only thing was, he was just lacking in that little bit of energy again. He just didn't quite have his usual Blueberry spice, you know? He usually has that little bit extra, that little bit mega about him. And he just didn't quite have it today, bless him. And we actually found out, so the day after this show, we actually realised that all of the horses on our yard were a little bit under the weather. I'm not quite sure what it was, whether maybe Blue brought something back from the show we'd been to, I think the weekend, or it was either 1 week or 2 weeks before this one. We wondered if maybe he picked something up and brought it back with him and they'd all gotten a little bit germy, or maybe because we were having the odd like rainstorm, they might have just all got a bit snotty and a bit of a chill in the rain. I don't like, it was nothing major. It's just probably for about 2 or 3 days they were all really like low on energy and they all had like the odd cough. There were no snotty noses, like it was nothing major. It was nothing concerning. But whatever it was, it had obviously just kind of knocked the wind out of his sails a bit. Obviously, had we known that he was a bit under the weather, we wouldn't have taken him out in public where he's mixing with other horses. Like I said, it was nothing major. It's not like he's got strangles or flu or something horrible like that. He was just a bit meh, you know? But he still looks fabulous. Everybody's fine now, by the way. Like I said, it literally lasted 2 or 3 days and they were all absolutely fine after that. I don't know, I think maybe it was just a little bit of a cold. So yeah, he looked fabulous and he moved beautifully. He was impeccably behaved, but he was just so quiet. Like when we were in the lineup, he kept like falling asleep. Like usually in the lineup, he's kind of an ass. Like he'll keep nipping and nudging and he'll keep lashing those legs out. Like he just gets bored. He wants to get on with it. He wants to play. He wants to stretch stuff. and he just kept falling asleep. And I don't just mean like he was having a nap, I mean his eyes were closed and his lip was hanging and he was flat out asleep like multiple times throughout the day while we were in the show ring. And it was so pitiful, bless him. It was so pitiful. Anyway, yes, that was that whole thing. Now this class here, this is a different class from what we were watching a minute ago. So this is the cob class now. It actually is the cob class now. It can only be the cob class because we've already seen the coloured class. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if I done a boo-boo with some of the footage. Like I said, it was trying to piece it all together and find the correct order for it all again. And yeah, I couldn't find an awful lot for that first class. But this one, there's a fair bit. And yeah, we'd obviously done our trot round and our walk round as a group. Now, he got pulled in the initial lineup for this class. He got pulled in first. And I think if he hadn't been a little bit under the weather and he'd managed to pull off his classic blueberry, I want to be a dressage pony trot, I think if he'd had a bit more energy and he'd managed to do that, he could have won this class. So the coloured mare to our right in this clip here was the one who took first place in this class in the end. So we basically ended up doing a switch. I think this may have been the class he came second in. I genuinely can't remember though, and without having footage of the rosettes as we're coming out of the ring, like I literally can't remember. I have no idea. So bad, my memory is shot, people. Like I more and more I'm convinced I've got early onset Alzheimer's or something. It's quite disturbing. We'll blame it on hormones. It's probably just hormones. Anyway, yes, lovely mare to our right ended up taking first place in this class. And yeah, she had a better trot round than what Blue did. So he's going to do his individual trot round now. And you'll see what I mean. Like, he does everything right. He does everything as he should. To give him a bit of a nudge to get him to stand square there. That is something we're working on. He's still not stood entirely square at the back end, but he stood acceptable now. I would call that acceptable. But yeah, you'll see he trots round beautifully. He does such a good job. But he's just missing that little something, you know, that little extra spark that kind of catches the judge's eye. I think that's why he gets pulled in so often. Because when he starts moving, obviously when he's feeling good, when he starts moving and he's feeling good, it's just like, wow, so pretty, so floaty. And he just didn't quite have it today, bless him. And then obviously following on from this fiasco, we then went to the FFRC show, which was one of the recent videos I put out. You guys have already seen that one, like I said earlier. We get to that show and then you'll see he's got even less about him in the show ring. That, like I said, we now know was because his feet were hurting him. So obviously not long after this show, his feet kind of exploded in every which direction. And we ended up having to get the farrier out for an in-between trim, which means his feet were ended up really short, and then he's just sore and a little bit footy. And so you'll see in that video as well that he's got even less about him than he has here. And it's just so gutting to see because he's such a mega horse, like really, really mega. He's got all the moves, he's got all the personality, he looks fabulous. And it's just absolutely gutting when he feels like crap, and you can see that he's feeling like crap because he just doesn't perform as well. So yeah, need to try harder, I think, on the human part. I mean, obviously we couldn't help this instance, you know, he picked germs up from somewhere. You can't really help that, unfortunately. That's just one of those things. But, you know, with the hoof care, again, arguably we couldn't help it on this occasion. I think it was just the weather and unfortunate circumstances because, I mean, his feet exploded 2 weeks after he'd seen the farrier. So, you know, you wouldn't really expect a horse who's just gone 2 weeks after a trim to have feet in his condition. So, yeah. But I think there are other things that we can do to keep him happier and healthier and more sound. So yeah, just food for thought. Again, I think I'm being hypercritical of myself here, aren't I? But yeah, can't break a habit of a lifetime, can I? So here we are on the final walk around. The judge is just pulling us in order that they want to place us, and as you can see, that lovely mare has... we've switched places basically. So yeah, this is the class that we came second in then. Evidently we must have come third in the cob class. Yeah, just... again, it was just a lack of... he was just missing that edge. Still did phenomenally well. Like, for a horse who had a year off last year, lame, on box rest, with laminitis, with hoof wall separation, which we're still dealing with, and with God knows what else is going on. You know, for a horse who's come back this year, he took... what was he, reserve champion at that last show? I can't remember. Or champion, I can't remember. He did incredibly well at that last show anyway, and I know that much. And then he's come out here and he's got placed again. And he got placed at the show, on the last show we went to as well, even when he was in the early stages of having issues with his feet again. He's doing phenomenally well. Like, this is what annoys me and upsets me, is like, he can do this well when he feels like crap and when his feet hurt, yeah? So imagine how absolutely phenomenal he would be if we could once and for all get on top of all these niggly little problems that we have with him. And I think this is one of the reasons that I've become so... like, I've always been hypercritical and I've always overanalyzed, but I think this is why I've become so hypercritical and hyper-focused on questioning and analysing everything. Because it's like, just imagine how amazing he could be. Like, if we could just fix his feet, just imagine how much more amazing he would trot up. Like, there's just so much potential there, and it's so frustrating that we're still keep ending up in this perpetual cycle of he does good for a while and then he relapses, and then he does good for a while and then he relapses. Like, we have to stop this somehow. We've got to do better. We've got to fix it. I'm just not quite sure how is the problem. Like, can we just get him new feet? That might be a good starting point. I don't know. It's probably a little bit excessive, isn't it? But you know what I mean. So yeah, that was it for the in-hand showing. Just doing our lap of honour here, and we did qualify for the championship. So first and second places from all the classes were put forward to the championship class. I do have some footage of that, which is coming up very shortly. So look how happy he is. He done good and he knows he did. Oh, he's such a good boy. But yeah, it's just, oh, if we can just fix the feet, he will be unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable, that horse. He's just so fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So we're just having a little in-between class tidy up. He's had a little snack, a little bit of hay. Mum's just giving him a final feather poof and tidying up his mane a little bit. Look how good he's looking. He looks so amazing at the moment. Yeah, just a quick little tidy up, and we're going to head on down to the championship class very, very shortly. Look at him. He's like, oh, we're going again, are we? He's just, look at how handsome he is. He's so handsome. How is he so handsome? He's gorgeous, isn't he, guys? Honestly. Yep, here we go. Off for our final little go-round of the day. I wasn't quite sure how he was going to do in this one. He was very low on energy at this point. It was just, yeah, he didn't have much oomph at all, bless him. But he went in and he did another absolutely lovely show. Like I said, it was the same as the ones before. It was just lacking in a little bit of oomph, which was a shame. Honestly, I think he could have nailed reserve champion or champion. He could have placed higher. Like, the judges initially pulled him in higher in the cob class. I'm getting them muddled up again. The bigger class. He got pulled in first initially, and he just lost out because he just didn't pull it out the back, bless him. It's not his fault by any stretch of the imagination. Again, this is just me, like, over-analysing and being hypercritical of everything that I do. I think it's a disease, actually. It's beyond a problem. I think it might actually be a disease for me at this point. But yeah, lovely, lovely lineup of horses in the championship here. If I remember correctly, the little chestnut that you can see in the top left there, I think that was pulled in either reserve or champion. I can't remember which. And then there was something from down the other end of the lineup that you can't quite see yet. I think it was a Welsh cob that was pulled in. Again, I'm not sure if it was champion or reserve. But yeah, two lovely horses. Absolutely very, very well deserving. But sadly, no championship sashes for Mr. Blueberry this time. I'm really hoping that we can get his feet sorted over the next maybe month or so, and maybe hit some really late season shows. That's what I'm hoping for at this point. Like I said, it's just a foot soreness issue he's got going on at the moment. So, I mean, his feet are growing like weeds at the moment, so it shouldn't take long to rectify it. But yeah, I want to get that boy out, showing off his full potential. That's what I want. We just got to keep on top of him. I'll show off that full potential, show the world how fabulous he is, because so far I feel like we've only seen little snippets of it in between all of the other crap that keeps happening. And oh, look at him. He's such a good boy. Such a good boy. Bless his little cotton socks. He worked his butt off today. And yeah, he went home and had a much deserved nap. I mean, look at his little eyes. You can see how tired he is. So tired. Anyway, yeah, that is it for today's show vlog. Apologies, it took me so long to get this one out, guys. As I said, I had issues with uploading, and then for whatever reason, I was actually having issues with editing at one point as well. Turns out all of my problems basically stem down to a really shocking internet connection. The internet provider, he's chewing on his chain there, he keeps doing that, so annoying. The internet provider that I have used for years and years without problems has suddenly declined horribly. And so yeah, I switched that up as a final effort to fix all my problems, and it fixed every single one of them. My editing software works again. I'm able to upload videos crazy fast, like terrifyingly fast. Like, it's so amazing. And yeah, we're getting back on schedule. So got this one out for you guys. I've still got the Knights of Middle England video to edit. My goodness, that is such an overwhelming amount of footage, but hopefully I'll get it out by Christmas. If I don't get it out by Christmas, then there's something seriously wrong with me. Anyway, see you next time, guys.